Hello, Greco family. This is your Principal Valerie Newton with this week's edition of Hear Me Roar. Academics. As you know, Greco was in the process of applying for a grant that would provide opportunities for us to provide wraparound services to our students. We were eligible for the top 3 grant because of our DA status. We learned this past week, however, that there are other criteria that we do not meet. As a DA school, the state expects certain assurances are in place to move a school out of DA status. 2 of these assurances are that we have an effective teaching staff based on state VAM scores, and we have an administrative staff with experience in successfully leading a turnaround school. Greco does not meet either of these assurances. For the top Step 1 schools like Greco, the state expects we are at or below the district average for needs improvement or unsatisfactory state VAM percentages. The district average is currently 15.81% for NI and 13.92% for U. Greco's percentages are 20.8% NI and 25% for U. Regarding the administrative staff, 2 of the 3 current administrators have been at Greco for both years when the grade was a D. Mr. Akins could have chosen to change our personnel or not apply for the grant. Because he believes in the teachers that we have in place at Greco, he decided to put his faith in us and not make any personnel changes at Greco. As a result, Greco will not apply for the top 3 grant. What does this mean for us? First, we will tier our teachers based on state VAM scores to show that we have a plan in place to ensure teachers with NI or U state VAM scores will receive additional support throughout the school year. SALs and coaches will meet with teachers this week to discuss new ratings. Information regarding how state VAM scores are calculated are attached to this week's email. Secondly, the administrative team is involved in ongoing professional development designed specifically to support leadership development at turnaround schools. Lastly, now that we have an established grant writing committee, this group will be exploring other grants that we may be eligible to receive. I also wanted to provide clarification on our walkthrough questions, provide clarification on some walkthrough questions regarding lesson plans and unpacking standards. Lesson plans per contract should be available upon request. We asked for their location so that we don't have to interrupt instruction by asking for them, but can simply go to the place you identified to review during a walkthrough. Regarding standards, it is a school-wide expectation that instruction is aligned to standards. Through professional development, we have shown and continue to show how to unpack standards to make sure standards are being taught correctly, meaning all parts are covered at the level of rigor the standard states. It is the expectation that all teachers are unpacking standards. Behavior. Now is a good time to remind us how important it is we all do our part. In order for us to roar together with excellence, we need to eliminate all weak links. Here are some things we need all teachers to do. Standing at their doors between classes. No hall passes the first and last 10 minutes of the period. Always give students a hall pass when they are leaving your room. Record tardies in EdConnect and continue with your lesson for the day. Do not refuse to allow students to enter because you feel they have too many tardies. Do not stop teaching to reprimand the student in front of other students or out in the hallway. Call student affairs for students removal after you have utilized all other interventions. You should never tell a student to get out. Follow our school-wide behavior management flowchart. Our inconsistencies with our procedures can put a halt to everything we are trying to do. Greco teachers, roar with pride. Shout out to the top 3 grant writing committee under the leadership of Jasmine Jones. Committee members are Mrs. Graham Allen, Dr. Russ, Miss Lewis, Mr. Greb, Miss E. Jones, Miss Reynolds, and Miss Pilcher. You put countless hours of work outside of your daily work to comply with the request made of you. I truly appreciate your commitment to Greco. What's coming up? 9/12, we have a home basketball game with the girls starting at 6, followed by the boys at 7. Comp time is provided to teachers for attending. On September 18th is our first conference night. In next week's episode, I will review some conference night do's and don'ts. As always, refer to Greco Internal and emails from Ms. Blake for a complete listing of upcoming activities. That's all for this episode. And remember, we are roaring together with excellence.